Within Temptation has been bringing their symphony style for over 20 years. It's crazy to think how long this band has been going with a mostly consistent band lineup, and every few years we are reminded of how strong their presence is. The Netherlands symphonic metal name is back with their 7th studio album, Resist. I didn't jump on board the Within Temptation bandwagon until about 2011 in The Unforgiving, and it took me a while to really catch up with the back catalog. This was an album and band that really sparked my interest in heavier, deeper music that could go also with strings and gorgeous singing. Nightwish, Epica, Within Temptation, these are the names people think of in this subgenre, and for good reason. As for Resist, we have a message of fighting back against oppression. According to Sharon and Adel, we have to break free from social subjection in order to develop ourselves. It's a message that has been used in music many times, especially in rock and metal. Within Temptation tends to take this message and mold it into a new direction, coming from a band who said themselves felt uninspired after the previous release, Hydra. The period between Hydra and Resist is the longest break between albums for the band. The album Resist had the right amount of build for fans and praise as being reinvigorating for the band, as Within Temptation said, without this album to bring them together, Within Temptation would not exist anymore. With the help of guest vocalists and trying to expand a bit, they are putting in the effort to make something big. The first single is what opened up the track and features Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach in a duet for the vocals. While I've never been ecstatic for this singing, I have to give him credit because he worked well with Sharon, who was always excellent. The volume softens at the right points to really highlight the emotion in the singing performance and builds back up strong. I love how this album opens. It makes everything feel unique and begins something that symphonic metal really embodies, with playing albums completely from the very beginning. Endless War continues that energy set from The Reckoning. The symphony side of this isn't over the top and guides the music in the soft and loud moments. It's great. Everyone in the band contributes and stands out a bit on Resist. My personal favorite tracks include the previous two mentioned songs, In Vain and Mad World, mainly for how good the flow is in each song. Technically solid, well mixed, and played excellently. At an overhead view, this is exactly the type of album for that Within Temptation needed to return with. Sonically, a touch different than the past works, with a driving theme and some big moments within many songs. There are tracks that make you want to come back to them frequently, and that's a good feeling to have with a band that's been around for a while. I can't add much to the discussion of how great Sharon sounds because that statement has been made by many people before me for a long time now. In 2019, she hasn't lost a step. Even in the loud and chaotic closing song Trophy Hunter with a touch of 80s vibe, she still sounds as confident and smooth as ever. All the praise she has been given over the years, she has earned. I'm not going to proclaim this as a complete album or the best work Within Temptation has ever done. Songs like Holy Ground and Firelight leave something to be desired and slow things down a bit too much. But even though the full album isn't that glorious front-to-back masterpiece of engaging music that many listeners are searching for, the pros outweigh the cons. It's a listening experience that eventually sticks with you. Resist is an album that grew on me. Over the past few weeks after listening from beginning to end, I found myself going back to certain tracks because those are the moments that stick out with me the most. And while the overmixing is a bit obvious at times, the guest vocalists really add something. Within Temptation have a unique entry in their discography, and I really enjoy it after having it for a while. Overall, Resist is a thematic, sweeping album with good metal hooks and plenty of high moments. This feels like a labor of love from a band who is almost ready to call it a day. Resist may take a few listens to really grow on you as a whole, but the individual pieces combine into a symphonic story of standing up to society's ill designs. It's an album with a message, and the message is great to hear this way.